how are you? It's Casey. Today I have a potential repair on the table. So this person reached out to me to do, she purchased an iMech and was trying to customize the iMech, I believe, and do her own thing, and is unable to get it to work. Once she customized it, she put it back in and it's not working. So she asked me originally if I would replace it, but I told her I wanted to first find out if the Mech that she has is completely not, I don't know how this box opens. How in the heck did she get it in here? I want to make sure that the iMech truly doesn't work before we go ahead and replace it. So I don't know yet what we're going to see when we get in here, if I ever can get in here. I can't tell how this box works. Is this a flap? That's why this is a flap. Anyway, so let's look and see. Here we go. She said the doll would be in parts because she hadn't obviously been able to put it back together. So let's take a look. I don't think she's the artist, so I don't know who the artist is. There's a note in here. This is Violet's original iMech that she had when I bought her, but it broke. I like the thickness of the lashes, but that's all. Also, this is her final pair of eye chips, but I need to deepen the hole as the mounds are tall. So that may be part of what the issue is. These are very thick glass eye chips, and as I've said, that doesn't work very well. So there's another note in here. This is Violet. I don't know if I ruined the iMech when I paint it. Also not happy with lashes. Not sure if she needs a new Mech or better lashes. Okay. So it sounds like she doesn't want this original Mech, even though she sent it along. She put in this one, and it's not working. What a cute doll. What is the, doesn't have an artist name on it, but I love her mouth. She has a really cute mouth, and I love her eyebrows too. So I think her eyelids look fine, and honestly I kind of think her lashes look fine. So I think what I'm going to do is first figure out if we can get this Mech working. If this Mech doesn't work, then we can maybe do changing the lashes and whatnot, but I don't really want to have her do that if we can get this Mech working. So we will have to replace her strings. I'm just gonna cut those off for now. Let's take a closer look at this. So I think the T-bar is way too short. That looks like that's probably the problem. The strings look like they're in the right place. That T-bar is extremely short though. So let's take it off and replace it and replace her strings, and let's see. Let's grab some string and a T-bar. So this artist changed the shape of the bottom lid by putting some epoxy there. You can see very faintly that it's there, but I really like that. I kind of want to try that. I really want to get back to trying epoxy, especially for minor things like that. I really don't want to change too much because I kind of want to keep as much of the original Blythe as possible, but that shape is really cute. With the T-bar, the best thing you want to do is trim it just a tiny bit, test it, and then trim a little more. There is a point where you trim too much and the eyes will not change. So, best thing to do is not do a lot and then wait. But that's not the problem. I know what the problem is. I think, well, I don't know. So this is the original Mech, she said. I think that the eyelids are hitting, she must have trimmed this, but it doesn't look trimmed. They're hitting right there, and they're not changing. I wonder if she was working when she got her. What did she say in her note? She said this was the original Mech when she bought her, but it broke. I wonder what that means. I wonder if she means when she got her it wasn't working, or if it was working and then it broke, because these eyelids are hitting right there and they are not going all the way over. And there is, I do not see any way around that, except for if you want these eyes to be with this, the Mech itself would need to be modified. Interesting. So I'm gonna get with her and see if it was working when she got the doll, because replacing the Mech's not gonna change anything. And the modification needed to make this work is not something that I would do, because It's not my doll, and I have no idea if I could do it. So even though I'm pretty sure the T-bar is too short, I'm wondering if maybe that was helping it turn. Let's try again with that little one. And I'll give her back her original in case that does work for some reason. But I don't see how those lids are gonna turn because they can't go all the way down. Because you see when I pull it to try to turn it, you can see it's hitting right there. And I don't even see how that T-bar is not even... Okay, well, I'm going to get with her owner and see a little bit more about the situation and see what she thinks. She could, of course, hand rotate the eyes, but I know most people don't want to do that because it's kind of hard to rotate them, especially now that they've been modified down here, and you kind of have to push your finger and bend your eyelashes around. So I don't know, it's kind of funny about dolls and Blythe and the way that we modify them so heavily and then sort of expect them to work, but you know, they don't. So I'm wondering if trying these eyelids, but I don't see that these eyelids were modified in any way. And it does look like it's all broke off, but I don't know how it got broken. It's possible that she was pulling too hard trying to get them to change. Surprised the epoxy has stayed so firm. All right, well, if there's something we can do with this one, I will get back on and we'll try to finish her. Otherwise, we will rebead her strings and see what she wants to do. I mean, she could just leave the doll on a pair of eyes she likes and not be able to change them. Those are really pretty. But I know most collectors like to be able to pull the strings, but I don't see that with this doll. So we'll see what she has to say, and I'll be back. Okay, so her owner got back to me really fast and said that the doll worked fine for a long time until she started making modifications to it. So I think what I would like to do is put the original lids back on. I don't know. I mean, they have been modified, obviously, because they don't have the under, and maybe that is what's hitting. I'm wondering if maybe it's not this top eyelid, even though it feels like it's hitting it. Maybe it's this bottom bar, because all of that is removed on the original lids. So let's see. If maybe that's what's going on here. What we could do instead of, because I don't see, let's see, the modifications on this are basically that the bottom is removed. It looks like something was removed right there too. Gosh. Maybe just a little bit, it was trimmed off. So I'm thinking let's just take off the lower, let's see, they cut it off. Really close to here. So let's just do that and we'll see if it works. I mean, she was planning on having to replace it anyway, so let's try. Maybe it's not the top lid, maybe it's this bottom thing that's rubbing. This is not super easy to cut off. I guess if you took the eyeballs out, it might be easier, but I really don't want to do that. So all right, let's see. So it still seems like that eyelid is hitting there. They really don't look any different. Unless this original Mech was sanded down, so it might not have been trimmed. But it looks thinner. It for sure looks thinner now that I'm looking at it. So I really do think we need to try out these eyelids and just see, because it's really hard to know. So normally this kind of gets on that lower part that's in there, but I guess we're gonna have to do it like this. There we go. Okay, so we're gonna have to take the lids off, which means we have to take this off, which is my least favorite thing. But these do look thinner. If you look at the lids, they're much thinner. Maybe not much, but enough. Because you can see like this part right there is completely almost gone on that side. So I suspect that's our problem. So let's see if we can get this off. I wonder if we can just put the Mech back together and not even deal with that for right now. Just get this one off. These eyes actually feel really fragile too, so I'm kind of nervous about trying to get this C-bar off. These eyeballs actually look smaller too, to be honest. Interesting. Okay, so this fell off in the process. I can never remember how it goes. So I suspect that that's the reason, because this eyelid feels like it's changing all the way. So I wonder if maybe it is a T-bar issue. But it was changing the Mech. So I think what might have happened is maybe it was a T-bar issue with the original Mech, and she went ahead and changed the Mech, and then the issue became more than the T-bar. So let's see if a new T-bar works. I don't know why it doesn't want to go on. There we go. Okay, let's try and see. A lot of iMech issues and doll repair is really just about experimenting. Trying different things, taking things apart, trying it a different way. And so I highly recommend, you know, if you want to get into customizing Blythe, or if you want to make changes to your Blythe, to really go into it with an attitude of troubleshooting, because it's definitely not a hobby, as I've said many times, that is straightforward. Yep, that's what it is. This artist modified this Mech. Okay, so let me get with her owner again. Solutions for her would be, if she doesn't like these eyelids the way they're painted, I would suggest painting over them, sanding off the paint and redoing them how she likes. I'm pretty sure we could change these lashes if she didn't like them. They're a little furry, and it looks like she got these kinds, so we could definitely change the lashes, but she's gonna need to keep using this Mech, or her doll's not gonna work. So let me get with her. I think we could actually trim that T-bar a little bit more too, just so the eyes look up, but that's her problem. So I'll come back when I talk with her and see what she wants to do. Otherwise, we'll put her back together and see how that goes. So I'll be back. Okay, so here she is, all put back together. Let's double check her. I put her strings back on. She is another doll with this really thick hair, so it's sometimes hard with the strings. Her owner decided to leave everything. She was happy with the original Mech. It had just stopped working, so she thought that she would be able to easily change it and thought the Mech was the problem. But as I said, she's probably never going to be able to put a stock Mech on this doll due to the eye modification. So I think it was just a T-bar that was too short and had become enough bent that the eyes wouldn't change anymore. Because they do now just fine. I don't have a pair there. That's the pair that she's going to put in, those very thick glass ones. That's not a service I offer because it's quite a lot of work, and there is just a high potential of damaging the outside of the eye. So she may decide to just put in other chips so she doesn't have to take her apart. But she's working fine at this point. So one thing to remember with Blythe dolls and their strings is, over time the Mech can become warped, or the T-bar can become warped, and they can stop working. So You know, I know that the fun of this type of doll is changing the eyes, but probably pulling the least amount of times possible is healthier for the doll. If for some reason it happens again, we can either easily replace the T-bar or look at it again and see what's going on with it. But for now, this would have been probably an easier fix without the complication of a second iMech and just the miscommunication that I had, or the misunderstanding I had of what was going on with the doll. But we got her all fixed, and that is the goal. So she's ready to go home today, and her owner can go get back to enjoying her. So thanks so much for watching. Thanks for being here, and don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you all again really soon. Bye-bye.